this is not plugged in. Because if I had it plugged in, you wouldn't hear the song. What's up, guys? Fears. Audience. Fears. Big shout out to the fans. Welcome to the Fears podcast, and welcome to... That's right, Fears Vlogs. Big shout out to my friend Exhumed Visions for making me this mug. Hell yeah, man. All right, let's plug this in and let's get a moseying. So it is Thursday. We're so close to the weekend, guys. I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you guys are doing great. I hope you guys are doing fantastic. Excuse me for a second while I plug this in. Let me make sure this is working. Hello. All right, I think we're rocking now. All right, big shout out to the fans. Big shout out to the Fears podcast. Big shout out to everything. Fears is having a pretty good day. I was not having a good night. I didn't go to work last night. From about 11 until about 4, I was puking my brains out. And it was nothing that I ate, you know. Just sometimes when you have Crohn's, you get these, like cramps, these flare-ups. Flare-ups are the absolute worst. They could happen at any waking moment. Like, within 2 minutes from now, I could have a flare-up, and then I'd have to turn off the live stream and go puke for 6 hours. Flare-ups are the absolute worst. But, so yeah, so I hate missing work, so I didn't go to work last night, because I knew that, I wouldn't be much help if I was sick, you know. Anyway, the day before, work was pretty good. You know. Anyway, I just got a couple of updates. I think I'm only gonna go to the convention one day on Saturday because these little cons you can pretty much do in one day. Now, if it was something big like Super Retro Con or Wizard World or the Halloween convention that I go to sometimes that are like multiple days, then I would go for the entire weekend. But I'm gonna have a busy weekend anyway. Except for Friday night. Friday night, I think I'm just going to, make some food, watch some MASH 4077, because I'm halfway through Season 8, going into Season 9. I'm almost there. I'm not there yet. I'm almost there. And then just make some food, and just watch some movies, and watch some MASH. And you know what? I have been enjoying MASH 4077. It's a great television show. It's horrible that the Korean War happened. But, it's such a family type of television show, which is really cool because they don't make TV shows like that anymore, you know? They try, but I think, like, back in the day, they tried so much more on television shows and movies and stuff, so I like watching all that old stuff. So right now I'm watching the new seasons of MacGyver. I'm on Season 2, going into Season 3 of MacGyver. I switch back and forth. Some nights I'll watch some MacGyver. Some nights I'll watch some MASH 4077. There you are. Anyway, let's see, what else? Like I was saying, I got a couple updates. I'm going to be just as busy, though, this weekend, because Friday night I'm just going to probably chill with you guys, do like a real quick, stream. I'm probably going to make some food, watch some movies, and watch some television. Saturday, I've got to get up very early. The show starts at 7:30, guys. 7:30, I believe. It's either 7:30 or 8. I honestly can't remember. And then I think it ends like at 4 or 5 at night. Then after that, Fears is going to get like a quick, tiny bite to eat. Not a big bite to eat because my buddy Jeff is throwing a party for all the vendors, and I got invited. And he's going to invite some of the celebrities over to his house. And I was like, oh, that's cool. So maybe, I don't know for sure, but maybe Keith Coogan is coming to this party. You know what I'm saying? So I've got that. So right after the convention, so in the vlog, I will tell you guys, and I'll be filming away. I'm going to get like a quick bite because Jeff has got so much stuff. He said, Fears, don't have a big meal because I'm going to get us some food. So Jeff, big shout out to my friend Jeff. He's going to have food there. Jeff rented a bartender to come to his house to bartend. So there's going to be drinks. I may partake a little bit, but I have to drive home. So I know when to cut myself off. I'm probably just going to have maybe a little cocktail, one or two, and then I'm done because I don't drink and drive. So yeah. And plus, Fears' car is getting fixed right now. He's at the dealership. The guy said, "Fears, I had to order two parts, and so that's not that bad to get my air condition fixed." And Visions was telling me that his air condition went out too, and that is the worst. It's probably not as bad where Visions lives because it's a lot more colder there. But in Florida, you absolutely have to have AC because out there, as you can tell, it's sunny out there. Whoo! It gets hot. It gets really hot. Anyway, so I'm probably, he said, most likely Fears, I can probably have it done like Friday afternoon and you can pick it up. He said, at the very worst, you can pick it up next Tuesday. So I may be driving to the convention in my loaner car because I told him, I said, well, I need a car for this weekend. I said, I've been planning to go to this convention for like, about a week and a half now, almost 2 weeks. And so he was like, oh, Fears, he goes, I know you've got stuff to do. He goes, I wouldn't just leave you hanging. He goes, we would either get you a rental car or, because normally you have to get a rental car because he said we used to have like 30 loaner cars and I guess business was slow, so they just started selling all the loaner cars, right? So now they said sometimes it's hard to get people loaner cars because we only have like 7 or 8 instead of like 30 or 40. But I was lucky enough. He thought, well, Fears, I felt bad. He goes, I'm not going to charge you for a rental car. Thank God, because that would have been more money out of my pocket. He said, I initially said, Fears, there's only one part that I have to order. And I guess when they were looking and they were checking, he goes, oh, Fears, I forgot. I need to order 2 parts. And I was like, well, it's not a big deal. And I said, is it going to be more money or is it going to be that set price? He goes, nope. He goes, it was my fault. He goes, it's going to be that set price that I told you. After everything's said and done, he said, that was my mistake. So he said, I'm going to get you the loaner car for free. And I was like, hey, that's really nice of you guys. So I don't know how long it's going to take. Like he said, at the very least, hopefully tomorrow afternoon, once work is done, I'm probably going to get out of work tonight at around probably 8 in the morning tomorrow or 9, somewhere around there. Come home, take a shower. Hopefully by then they'll give me a call. I'm going to get some breakfast, take a shower. And then, yo, Fears, your car's done. Come on up. I'll pick it up. But if not, he said, Fears, if I don't call you tomorrow, he's like, then it'll probably be sometime next week, around next Monday or next Tuesday. I went, that's fine. I'm like, whatever you get it done, you get it done. If I have to take the loaner car to the convention, so be it. Anyway, let's open up the chat. And then I got a few more updates to tell you guys, and then we'll get right in. We'll get right into the show. I hope everyone's doing well. Hope everyone's doing great. It's been a pretty good day. I've just been kind of chilling. I edited some videos today. Had a really nice lunch. So, yeah. So, I've just been kind of chilling at the house. I did go to the store earlier. So, yeah. But I've just been kind of chilling. All right, let me open up the chat. There we are. All right. Yep. Oh, there he is. There's Visions. And, again with the purple shades. All right. All right. Well, Visions, I got my purple shades. Woo! Oh, yeah. There it is. Or, see, listen, I could do this. Or, I could do this. Right? You think they're normal glasses, right? You think they're normal glasses? Hell no, they're not normal glasses. Look at this. Look at this. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Oh, yeah. Is this too much? It's a little bit too much. Or maybe it's just enough. I don't know. Anyway. Yo, Triple. Triple's like, Fears, audience, Fears. That's right, Triple. That's right. Let's see. Vision says the weather has been weird here. It was 90 the other day. That's what I'm talking about. But it's 73 right now. Strange for August. Well, Visions, when I come to visit you, not that I would need it in June or July, but just in case, if it gets windy, I'm going to bring a light jacket, So I'm going to pack a light jacket, because you never know with, like, Oregon and Portland and Astoria, and you live, I think you said 30 minutes away, 40 minutes away, so My mom she goes, hey, when you go visit him next year, and I said, yeah. She goes, you probably want to bring a jacket. I said, oh yeah. I said, I wasn't, Mom, but actually, I said that's a good idea. I probably should bring a jacket, So anyway, but yeah. Anyway, I'm telling you, I only have two jackets here, Visions. The only time I've ever had to throw a jacket on in Florida. Sometimes at the end of December it gets a little chilly, and then all of January, every once in a while, you have to wear a light jacket. And then a little bit of February, and that's it. So, not even a month and a half. That's probably or I'm sorry, not even 2 months, probably a month and a half. That's when it gets a little cold. But that's about it. Any other time, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, hot, 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 hot. It's one of the reasons why I moved here. Anyway, let's see. What else has been going on? Let's see. I called my mom. She's doing all right. I'm calling Grandma Fears this weekend to see if she's doing okay. I want to thank everyone that sent some good vibes, some good prayers. My grandma, about a week or two ago, she slipped and fell, and her face hit the carpet. And you would think carpet would be soft, right? Not so much. When you get older, your body gets more frail. And God bless Grandma Fears, but she's got a mark. I kid you not, Triple Envisions, from here all the way to about here. So one side of her face is literally like Freddy Krueger, and I feel for my grandma. But I talked to her a couple days ago, and my mom sent me a picture, and the swelling has went down a little bit. So it went from a dark purple to a light purple. So she's getting better. But I just want to thank everybody for all the prayers and the love and the blessings and the good vibes sent to my grandma, because my grandma's getting up there. She's almost 90, for God's sake. And so I just had a conversation. I was like, Grandma, I said, you know how much I love you. You know how much I care about you. I said, you just got to be more careful. She goes, oh, I was being real careful. I said, I know you were. I said, just try to be a little extra careful, I said, because I said, when I'm 90, I'll have to be super careful, That's if Fears even makes it to 90. I hope so. I hope I make it to 90, I hope all you guys out in the chat make it to 90, Anyway, big shout out to Lord Triple and Lord Visions. You guys are always here every day, all day. Visions, I haven't asked in a while. How is Mrs. Visions doing? How's your family doing? I hope they're doing all right. Let me know. Give me a progress report. Are they doing okay? They doing all right? I hope they are. Triple, Visions, everybody else. Today, we've got some homework to do. And the homework today is reviewing this. I got some convention news, some big convention news. And then I thought I would tell a couple college stories. I got two epic college stories that I don't think you guys have ever heard. I think these are new. I'm pretty sure. Let's see. Triple says, I keep telling Grandma Fears it's not too late for her to learn to kickflip. All right? Well, you know what, Triple? That's really nice of you to say, because my grandma is very strong. She's very independent. My grandma's been through a lot. 2 heart surgeries. She had a heart attack once. I'm sorry, 1 heart attack, 2 heart surgeries. She nicked an artery one time. She fell recently. So my grandma is tough as nails, man. Nothing can batter my grandma's spirits, And Vision, I'm telling you, when my grandma saw the I Love Grandma shirt, I've never seen my grandma more happier. She goes, who made this? I said, my buddy did. And she goes, did he make it especially for you, John? Because he knew that you were coming? Because my grandma, she kind of understands YouTube and TikTok, Visions and Triple. But, she's almost 90, so I kind of had to explain a little bit to her. She goes, oh, well, I knew you had fans. She goes, I just didn't know how many. I said, Grandma, let me show you. Picture this as my phone, right? I said, hey, Grandma, check. I said, this is called TikTok. And I said, the only difference between TikTok and YouTube, I said, on TikTok, you can make up to 3-minute videos. I said, you can make a 15-second video, a 60-second video, a minute video, or 3 minutes. And then she goes, well, how much can you do on YouTube? I said, endless. I said, your video can be as long as you want on YouTube. And then she was like, so you've got fans on both? I said, I do. I said, I've got 2 channels on YouTube and one channel on TikTok. And I said, my buddy Visions, I said he owns a business. So I said he didn't just make it for me, he made it for everybody. But I said, Visions is very close to his grandma too. And then she goes, I love that shirt. And I said, well, I said, that's why I bought it, Grandma. I said, one, I love you, Grandma. Two, I always support my buddy's business. And I said, three, I said, I will wear it with pride, you know. And my grandma's like, I love it. So, Visions, my grandma approves of the I Love Grandma shirt. So, yeah. So, I'm definitely bringing that when I come to visit you next year. Hell yeah. Because when I was in town, Visions, my brother came up to me and he said, Fears. Oh, he didn't say Fears, you know, because my brother doesn't call me by my last name. But he said, hey, John, he goes, I got to ask you something. And he was like, I was like, yeah. And he goes, I've seen some of the stuff on your Facebook, because obviously my brother follows me on Facebook. He goes, what has that Visions guy not sent you? I said, that's a good question. I said, he's a good fan. He's a good buddy. I said, Visions is the most nicest, like fan, friend. I said, he's at the top of the list. And my brother's like, well, he should be. Like, he's gave you so much cool shit. I said, he is. And he was like, please tell me you're going to wear some of the shirts when you go visit him next year. I said, oh yeah. I said, it would be sacrilegious if I didn't, you know? And then my brother, Visions, I kid you not, my brother was like, do you think it'll be a little weird that you wear his shirts when you're hanging out with him and he makes it and it's his business? And I was like, no, I don't think he'll think it's weird. I'm like, he probably would think, you know, it's, what's the word? He would think it's a compliment. So hopefully you take it as a compliment, Visions, whenever I come to visit you. Not every single shirt is going to be a Lord Visions shirt, but I'm going to bring at least 2 or 3, you know. And I looked at my brother and said, I think he would take it as a compliment, you know, to show like, hey, oh, Fears not only does he walk the walk, he talks the talk, you know, and he actually likes my stuff. And I looked at my brother and I was like, well, I'm like, and I told I'm not going to say my brother's name, but I looked at him and said, hey, my brother's name. And then if I didn't like it, you know me, obviously I wouldn't wear it. I said, I like his stuff. I said, I don't like all of his stuff. And my brother's like, well, what stuff do you not like? And I said, well, he already knows what I don't like. I said, and I looked at my brother, I said, he's not religious like us. I said, sometimes he makes memes and stuff about the devil and Satan. And then my brother said, does he know that you not like that stuff? I said, yeah. And I said, I told him right up front, I probably won't buy that stuff, but anything else I'll probably buy. And then my brother was like, well, is he cool with that? I said, yeah. I said, he doesn't judge me. I don't judge him. I said, we're good buddies. And he was like, oh, well, that's good, Fears. And he goes, at least he didn't have a problem. I said, no. I said, dude, he's so down to earth. I said, he wouldn't have a problem with that. And then he goes, what's your favorite? I said, well, and I looked at my brother and I said, you should know my favorite. I said, I've worn it, 3 times since I've been here on the trip? I had my mom wash it a couple of times, Visions. The fucking Tarman shirt. Yeah, man, the fucking Tarman. And my Visions, my brother just doesn't get it. He goes, Fears, you and this fucking Tarman guy. I said, he's great. And he goes, yeah, but is he really that great? I said, fucking Tarman is fucking great. I said, he's one of the most famous zombies of all time. And my brother's like, oh, he's like, don't even go there, John. I said, what do you mean? And he goes, exactly what I said. He goes, he's not the most famous zombie. And I looked at him I looked at my brother like he was nuts, right, Vision? I said, he's pretty famous. And my brother's like, oh, I don't doubt that. He goes, you've made me watch the movie, John. He goes, and I said, I looked at my brother and said, you like Return of the Living Dead too. I said, don't even go there. And my brother's like, oh yeah, I like it, John. He goes, but I'm saying he's not the most famous one. And he goes, what about the first fucking zombie in Night of the Living Dead? You know, the fucking zombie chasing Barbara. I said, he's another famous zombie. I said, you could have multiple famous zombies. You know what I'm saying? My brother's like, what about the fucking zombie in Dawn of the Dead, the old 70s one that you love? I said, that's another famous zombie. You know, there's a certain zombie in there that's fucking great. And so my brother's like, I'm just saying. He goes, I don't think he's the most. I said, in my eyes, I think Tarman is the most famous one. I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know in the chat. Visions, what do you think? Just what do you think is the most famous zombie? In my eyes, I think it's Tarman. That's me though. But Triple, what do you? And then my brother, like me, Visions, he loves fucking Walking Dead. I love Walking Dead, man. Any variation of it. Fucking Walking Dead is... I wish I would have been smart and wrote the fucking comic for Walking Dead. That guy that makes the original comics, that guy must be fucking loaded beyond belief. And then he gets even more money. Hell, he even had a cameo. The guy, he's in a couple... The guy that created The Walking Dead, he's had a couple of cameos as zombies, non-zombies in the fucking show. I'm like, how fucking great is that, you know? I'm like, it's your comic book. You're in the fucking television show. You got multiple cameos. That's, oh God, I would die a happy man. I'm like, oh fuck yeah, man. That's so cool. So anyway, Triple Visions, what do you think? Just get your noggin thinking. What do you guys think is the most famous zombie on film? Movie or television related, let me know. Let's see. Vision says, we're doing all right, living life, not much to report. Well, that's good, buddy. I'm glad that you and the missus, because I strongly believe, Visions, that you and Mrs. Visions will get married one day. Oh, I want you guys to. You guys have been together for so long. I hope you guys do. So I'm glad you and her are doing good, and I'm glad your family's doing good. Hell yeah. Triple, what about your family? Is your family doing good? I hope they are. I hope your family's doing good. Triple says, fears if you saw a spider on the side of the bowl. Wait, if you saw a spider on the side of the bowl, would you pee it down? That's just gross. That's just weird, Triple. I probably wouldn't pee on the spider. I hate spiders. I would probably just say, hey, spider, fuck you, and then I'd hit the flush button, and I'd flush the spider, because spiders are creepy motherfuckers. You know? The only cool spiders are like in fucking Spider-Man, you know what I'm saying? So if I got bit by a spider, man, I'd be like, hey, Green Goblin, up your ass. You know, and fucking shoot the web at him. But spiders kind of creep me out. They don't creep me out as much as snakes. Fuck snakes, man. They're fucking weird. I fucking hate snakes. I hate snakes. Oh my God, I hate them. Anyway, let's see. Vision says, yeah, dude. I think the yeah, dude is in response to the fucking tar man. Right, Visions? I'll get it through my brother's head one day. I'm like, fucking tar man. Yeah, man. He has 3 fucking cameos in the movie series. Number 1, number 2, and in number 5 that I've yet to see. So I cannot wait to see number 4 and number 5. Because I've yet to see number 4 and number 5. Yo, Chicken Wizard! Chicken Wizard, you still have not texted me your new number. Have you got a new number yet? Because I want to erase the old one and re-put you in my phone. Please, today, text me your new number. All right, buddy? You know, because I want to keep in touch, man. Because meeting you at the Toy Con was fucking awesome, and now we're buddies and we're pals. Keep in touch, man. Please, shoot me your new number. Triple says, I think the most famous zombie I can think of is Michael Jackson. Yeah, the Thriller Michael Jackson zombie, because he does turn into a zombie in that music video at some point. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Let's see. Chicken Wizard says, Return of the Living Dead, Reanimator, The Dead Next Door, Dead Alive, Zombie 90. I like those. I mean, those are all good ones, Chicken Wizard. I haven't seen Zombie 90. I haven't seen that one, but I've seen The Dead Next Door. I've seen bits and pieces of the Reanimator, because Visions and Pixel was telling me about, so I got curious one night. I just kind of like looked on YouTube, and I was like, okay, this is pretty good. So I've seen bits and pieces of it, but not all of it. But you guys know for sure, Fears has seen Return of the Living Dead 1, 2, 3. The only ones I haven't seen is number 4 and number 5. Someone told me number 4 of Return of the Living Dead just absolutely is like shit water garbage. But then my other friend was telling me, Chicken Wizard, that number 5 is amazing and makes up for like the horrible one, number 4. So we'll see. At some point, I'm going to watch number 4 and number 5, and you guys know I will always review them. So yeah. But no, Chicken Wizard, when you get a chance, please don't forget, shoot me your new number, buddy, because I want to keep in touch. Because Chicken Wizard, the next time I'm in Missouri, we are hanging out for sure. And I promise I'll get up that Toy Con that I interviewed you ASAP, buddy. I've been kind of depressed, you know, so I haven't had time to, or I have had time to edit, excuse me. I just haven't been in the mood to edit, you know. Fears has been going through some shit the last couple of months. Let's see. Larry says hello. What up, Larry? What's up? I forgot to tell you guys the topics for tonight. Tonight we're going to be reviewing Bada Bing, Bada Boom. So Visions has seen this in the theater. I've seen this in the theater. I'm sure some people, if not everybody in the chat, has seen it. We're going to review it. And then, Larry, I've got two amazing college stories. Well, one is more amazing than the other, but I'm sure you guys will get a giggle at both stories. And then I've got some big-ass convention news for the convention that I'm going to this weekend. So if you guys want to hang out with Fears, you guys know what to do. Show up in Florida. Go to Florida Toy Shows and Expos.com or on their Facebook right there. And you can buy tickets on the Facebook or on the website. So anytime you guys want to do a meetup, bada bing, bada boom, that would be a great place to do it. You know what I'm saying? DVD Blu-ray guy says, what do you mean when you always say you've seen bits and pieces? Well, that means, DVD Blu-ray guy, that I've seen only a couple of scenes of the movie here and there, like on YouTube. I haven't sat and watched Reanimator all the way through. That's what I mean. I've seen a little here, a little there. You know, I YouTubed a couple of scenes. I just wrote in Reanimator, and then I watched a couple of scenes. And they were probably all out of sequence. And from what I saw, it's pretty good. So, yeah. Did you just look up some clips? Yes, exactly. I looked up some clips. From the clips, I liked. I definitely liked the clips. Anyway. I'll be right back. I'm going to get a refill on my coffee because this has gone cold. And I need to use the restroom. So I will be right back. But I want you guys to study the Ghostface Killer while I'm gone. Because he's all kind of, ghosty and shit. So I'll be right back. All right, sorry about that. I'm back. Whoop. All right. See, what is your weekly screen time, your phone and your laptop? I don't know. That's a good question. I really haven't. I've never really looked at it, DVD Blu-ray guy. Most likely, it would probably be a lot more screen time on my computer than on my phone. I mean, I use my phone every once in a while to make phone calls, make text messages, and then put up, I'll upload like some cool photos on my Instagram, make a couple TikTok videos, but between the streaming and the editing and then watching movies off of TikTok, watching my favorite YouTubers, I spend a lot more time in front of the computer. So I would say excuse me, probably a lot more time on my laptop. You know what I'm saying? So, but anyway, so I hope you guys are ready. Visions, Lord Visions. All right, let's start with this, shall we? Okay, very good sequel. Is it my favorite sequel? No, but it's still pretty good. They're getting really good. Ghostface is getting more intense. He's always been intense, but man, in this one, he was really, 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 really intense. And they're switching up the rules a little bit. I've never seen Ghostface, not once, use a gun. In this one, he used a gun. Now, I'm saying in other movies, the killer has a gun, but normally, anytime they've used a gun, they're unmasked. Like, Billy Loomis, he did use a gun. He pointed a gun at Sidney Prescott, but he wasn't in the Ghostface costume by then. By then, he took the Ghostface costume off. In this one, Ghostface, in the whole costume, the mask, he's using a gun, trying to kill the two main characters. And I was like, oh, wow, I've never seen Ghostface with a gun. So that was pretty cool. So they're taking old rules from like all the classic horror movies, inventing new rules. I enjoyed it. I gave it about an 8 out of 10. It wasn't a perfect horror movie, but an 8 out of 10 is still pretty good. My two favorite scenes is one of them that I just told you. I love the shootout scene in the convenience store. The two girls are trying to get away. They think they're going to get safety running inside the convenience store, right? This Ghostface killer's like, I don't give a shit if there's like 20 people in there. Yeah, fuck you. He runs in there, and some guy turns around and gets in Ghostface's face and says, yo, if we got a problem here, Ghostface, he doesn't say one word. He's like, yeah, fuck you, motherfucker, and then just guts the guy like 5 or 6 times, blade in the guy's stomach. He's dead. Another guy comes at him. He gets stabbed in the neck. He's done. Then the owner of the shop tries to shoot Ghostface. He kills the fat guy, behind the cash register, grabs his gun, and then it's an all-out shootout. That's probably my favorite scene out of the entire film. Probably my second favorite scene is probably the whole last sequence of them in the old creepy theater. And it's like the closing, the killer's revealed. I'm not going to reveal who the killer is, just in case if anyone hasn't seen it. And it's the killers fighting them, and them fighting the killers. The ending is, whoo! It's quite good. Quite good. Those two scenes, probably without a doubt, are my two favorite scenes. Let's see here. They brought back one historical character, Gale Weathers. Sydney, she's not in this one. They mention Sydney. Like Gale says, oh, I called Sydney and told her what's going on. So I was a little disappointed. No hot, sexy Neve Campbell. The trolls can make fun of me. I don't care. She is still rocking, smoking hot at 50. Or she's either 49 or 50. Let's find out. Let's go to Google and find out how old she is. I know she's close to 50, but man, whoo, she's a hottie. Let's see, how old is Neve Campbell? Let's see how old she is. I was close. I said 50. She's 49 years old. She was born October 3rd, 1973. So I was 1 year off. 1 year off, but you know what? She is still rocking. She's still smoking hot. She will always be smoking hot. That was Fierce's very first crush. My very first celebrity crush. And she will remain my first celebrity crush. I think she's fantastic. So anyway. So she's not in this one. I don't know why she's in this one, but they mention Sidney Prescott's name in this one. They said, oh yeah, and they're like, Gail, did you call Sydney? And Gail's like, yep, I called Sydney. I told her what's going on, and she said she wants nothing to do with it. She goes, she's got a family now, and she's got kids. She said she took her husband, and she took her kids, and they packed up, and they drove somewhere far away, and Sydney didn't tell me where she was going, and, she wanted to get her family to safety. So that's the only time that's the only time in the film that they mention Sydney. I have a feeling maybe if they make a 7th one, which we all know that they probably will, Hopefully she'll come back for the 7 one. I read online the reason why she didn't do this one is she didn't have a big enough part, and they wouldn't pay her the money that she wanted. So there it is. Anyway, so I rated it about an 8 out of 10. Visions, what do you got to say about Scream? What do you have to say about Scream? Because Visions watched this in the theater. I watched it in the theater, but man, it took me 3 weeks to get this like an actual Blu-ray. Every time I went to Publix, Sam's Club, Walmart, Costco. I mean, I went everywhere for 3 weeks and it was all sold out. So it is a popular movie. Finally, the other day, I went into Walmart again from where I first started. Finally got it on Blu-ray. So I was like, oh, thank God. It took me forever. But yeah. So it's a very enjoyable horror movie. I'd say the best death in the movie. Let's see here. Because there's a lot of good deaths in it. I'm trying to think. Let's see here. I would say probably the death of her girlfriend. So she's the moviegoer. She's the big movie buff in the movie. And she's a lesbian. And she has this really hot, sexy lesbian girlfriend. She gets stabbed twice in the gut, but she's still alive. Then she tries to escape out the New York apartment window across the ladder. Ghostface comes in. He's like, I don't think so. And he stabs his knife down into the window grabs onto the ladder, starts shaking it like this. She falls off the ladder, 5 stories down. She hits her face, like the side of her face on a trash can, bounces off. You know those big industrial trash cans that are in New York? She bounces off that. She goes flying through the air. After her face hits it, bounces off that, and then she hits the ground, and then she's just in a big pool of blood. That's probably my favorite death. So if you guys have seen the movie, let me know what your favorite death is in the horror movie. And I'm watching this, and I'm like, will they ever learn? Will they ever learn? There's certain rules, as Randy would say from the very first Scream movie. There's certain rules that you must abide by in order to survive a horror movie. 1, you can never drink or do drugs. Drinks will get you killed. Drugs will get you killed, right? You can never drink or do drugs. You can never say, I'll be right back, because you won't be back, you fucking moron. Fears is going to make up a rule. Never get into a car, because the car never fucking starts. They'll get in it, they'll turn the key a half a dozen fucking times, and then they're like, oh, come on, you son of a bitch, start. Why are you wasting time? Fuck the car. If it doesn't start by attempt 2 or even attempt 1, you've got legs, get the fuck out of there and start running a half a mile down the street, right? Never run up the stairs, because there's usually 11 times out of 12, there's no exit if you run up the stairs into a house, unless there's a window, unless you can break a window upstairs and crawl up the window. But again, you're on the 2nd story, so that's going to be quite a jump. The jump could kill you or at least break your legs. So 11 times out of 12, there is no exit upstairs. So do not run up the stairs. Run out the back door of your house or run out the front door. These are all classic horror movie rules. Fears could talk about this all damn day. Another rule: never trust anyone in a horror film. Because what have we learned? Even the people that you care about could be like, hey, guess what? I'm a psychopath. I'm the killer, bitch, And perfect example, Sidney Prescott thought, oh, Billy Loomis, he's the greatest boyfriend alive. I love him so much. Hey, guess what, Sidney Prescott? Billy Loomis is the fucking killer. So you can't trust anybody in a horror film. No one. Look out for number 1, you. Now, obviously, I would think family members would be okay. But friends, unless you really know them really fucking hardcore, go to that rule that I just said. because there is exceptions sometimes in a horror film. If you're in a house and you hear a creepy noise, do not go and fucking investigate it. If you're in an old house, guess what? An old house, it leaks, there's leaky pipes, there's creaks, there's crevices. That's why whenever I watch Visions, whenever I watch all those fucking, like, oh god, man, we turn on these cameras and shit, and man, I think I found a ghost on camera. No, you didn't. You're in a somewhat haunted house, and you just heard a leaky pipe or some shit. I'm the type of guy, I've never had a ghost encounter. I've never seen a ghost. I'm not saying that they don't exist. I've just never seen one. Fears needs evidence. But ghosts are always quite it's always convenient for ghosts to haunt that church on the side of the road or those hotels on the side of the road. So unless I've seen some evidence, I don't believe in ghosts. So yeah. Vision says, I thought it was decent. I remember liking it more than some of the others. I agree, buddy. I agree. The fifth one, it was alright. I liked it, but the sixth one was way better than... I like that they took it out of Woodsboro. I like when they switch it up a little bit. It gets kind of redundant. 1 through 5 has been in Woodsboro, except for... The third one starts in Woodsboro, and then it goes to California. So they kind of did a little bit like what New York is doing, but they jump back and forth in the third one from Woodsboro to California. The sixth one is solely in New York. So it doesn't go anywhere else. It doesn't do a flashback sequence to Woodsboro or some shit. It's all takes place in New York. So yeah. Vision says, I thought it was decent. I remember liking it more than some of the others. It kept me guessing until the end. I think I'll give it a 6 out of 10. Fair enough. I gave it an 8 out of 10. That's pretty close, Visions. Yeah, I was guessing. I thought I knew who the killer was. I was pretty damn sure. And then all of a sudden, I was like, oh, they tricked me. Because I could have sworn. I'm not going to reveal who the killer is, because there may be some people in here that haven't seen it. But Visions, I will agree with you on that. Towards the end, I was like, I know who it is. I know who it is. I'm like, yeah, I figured it out. Then all of a sudden they revealed it. I was like, oh, shit, I was totally wrong. Fears was wrong. I'm willing to admit that. But I could have sworn, Visions, I thought I was right. Towards the end. It kept me guessing. But yeah. Yo, Pixel Protocol. I didn't miss Nev at all in 6th. How dare you say that, Pixel? You're like a brother to me, and we're friends. How can you deny the sexiness that is Nev Campbell? How can you deny her? She is smoking hot. But you know what, Pixel? To each their own. I don't judge anyone. I cannot believe you don't think Nev Campbell was hot. Unbelievable. Larry says, I saw a lonely ghost. Did you, Larry? Well, it's funny that you bring that up, because Fears made a short film about that. I would die a happy man if The Lonely Ghost got to be either a book or a movie or both. That would be a blast. The Ghostface Museum, as far-fetched as it is, was pretty neat. Yeah, Visions, I agree. It was neat to see all of those. I don't even want to call them props, because if that was real, it would be so creepy. I'd be like, what? This guy's been collecting pieces of every single person's death since the beginning? So it's pretty far-fetched, because if anything like that happened, they would have all that evidence in a vault, or they would have it in a police lockup, and there's no way that you could possibly get all that shit and then set it up. So it is what Vision said. It's pretty far-fetched. But when I saw that scene, I was like, man, these killers, they're going the fucking distance. They are going the distance, my friends. And so I was like, wow. You know what I'm saying? I was like, going the distance. They're obsessed with the Woodsboro murders and shit. I'm like, they had everything. They had Stu's kick-ass, awesome red, party coat from number 1. They had the TV that killed Stu from the first one. He calls Sydney a bitch, and he's laying there, and then she's like, in your dreams, and throws a TV, and the TV smashes Stu's head, and he gets electrified. And I'm like, yeah. You take him down, Sydney. You take fucking Stu down. I'll be right back. No, you won't be back, Stu, you fucking moron. You just got annihilated by a fucking television. My parents are gonna be so mad at me. You know, he's covered in blood. Well, yeah, no shit, your parents are gonna be mad at you, Stu. You're a psychopath killer, and there's blood all over the floor. There's blood all over that white phone that you were holding in your hand. You've got multiple stab wounds in you, buddy. And then he's like, did you really call the police? And then Sydney's all like, you bet your ass I called the police. And he's like, my mom and dad's going to be so mad at me. Well, yeah, no shit, you know. You'd be totally fucked by then, you know what I'm saying? Pixel says, didn't say she is ugly, just I don't miss her in the movies. She was barely in the last few. I agree on that. But that's what I'm saying, Pixel. She's a big part of the franchise. She should have been in the movies more. That's probably why Nev Campbell was like, I don't want just a cameo. I'm an actress. I want a bigger part. That's probably why she didn't do number 6. Hopefully, like if they make a number 7 or a number 8, we all know that they will. Because look at all the franchises. Jason, Friday the 13th. What are we up to? Jason 12, Jason 13. Michael, we're up to, let's see how many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 8 was Halloween Resurrection. 9 was the remake of Rob Zombie. Then there was the remake of Halloween 2. That was 10. And then 13. There's 13 in the series. Then they made that brand new series with the old Michael Myers mask, with the old Michael. So yeah, they've made 13. Then in Freddy Krueger, there's 8 of those. 1 through 7, because 7 was Wes Craven's New Nightmare. And then if you count Freddy vs. Jason, that's 8 for the... Oh, no, I'm sorry, that's 9, because then they remade Nightmare on Elm Street 1. So that's 9 in that series, you know? So, yep. Let's see, but yeah, I do agree. But I think she should have been more in the film, Pixel. Pixel says, we need a Fears Man museum. Oh, God. Don't be toying with me, Pixel. Oh, my God, that would be legendary. The first Fears Man picture, right? What if somebody made the first Fears Man costume? But I would be like, if Fears Man ever became a movie, I would go to the movie producers and I'd say, I got one stipulation. And they'd be like, what's that, Fears? I said, 1, I get to be in the film since I'm the creator. I'm getting kind of older now, so I don't know if I could play a superhero. If I did, I'd have to hit the gym, and I mean, you got to get the 6-pack rockin' abs, or the 8-pack abs. Fears does not have that. I've got the beer belly gut. I'm trying to get rid of it. It's hard. I've lost a lot of weight, but I just haven't lost enough weight. So I'd have to do that, to fit into the Fears Man costume. But my one stipulation, I'd have 2 stipulations. I'd be like, I got to be in the film at least once or twice. Number 2, I said, whether I'm playing Fears Man or I get some, big Hollywood actor to play Fears Man, my mother has to make the costume. Just like how Superman, he asked his mom to make the costume. My mom, I would go, I remember, I would go up to my mom and go, Mom, Fears Man is becoming a reality. It's going to the big time, the big screen. And my mom would be like, yeah, and? I'd be like, Mom, you have to make the costume. So you get online, and you get some blue spandex and some yellow spandex. You get some material, you get some cloth, some yellow cloth for the cape, and you go to town, and you make that Fears Man costume. And I would show my mom every single picture that Randy's ever made, that fans have ever made. I'm like, just take all of these pictures and make a combo of the fucking Fears Man costume and see what you come up with, Mom. So that would be my 2 stipulations. But Pixel, unfortunately, I don't think... I'm not a naysayer. I'm just a realist. I don't think Fears Man will ever hit the big time. I would die a happy man if Fears Man got to be a movie. That would be great. That would be great. Anyway, have you seen Molly's Game? It's good and it's a true story. No, I've never seen that, Larry. Molly's Game. Let's have a look-see. Let's have a look-see. Let me go to YouTube and check out the trailer. Molly's Game. All right, well, let's have a little look-see here. All right. The last one I watched, I'm excited. Pixel, before I watch this, Pixel, have you ever seen... Oh, hang on. What was it called? Hang on. I've got the list. Visions told me to watch this. It's a musical. Cannibal the Musical. Cannibal the Musical. Have you seen that one, Pixel? I'm very excited to watch that. It's half a horror movie and half fucking hilarious. Like, he bites some guy in the neck and then kills some guy, and he's all like, I just killed somebody. Like, I mean, he was going nuts with the song. I don't remember what the song was called, but Pixel, have you ever seen this? Cannibal the Musical? So that definitely was added to the list. And it's the guys from South Park that was in it. And Squeak was in there, you know? So let me know, Pixel, if you've ever seen that, because Visions likes that. I had never heard of it until Visions told me. He goes, Fears, you need to add this to the fucking list. And I was like, is it that good, Visions? And Visions went, oh, yeah, it's good. So, yeah. Yes, it's on my movie server. It is made by one... Oh, no, it wasn't just one of the South Park people. All three of them, Pixel. The little squeaky guy, and then the guy with the huge afro hair... was in it, and then the guy with the blonde hair that plays Cartman. So all three of them were in there. So yeah. Anyway, let's watch this Molly's Game. Molly's Game trailer. All right, let's see here. And it's based on a true story. All right, well, let's have a little look-see here. Molly's trailer. I'm sorry, Molly's Game trailer. All right, let's have a little... I don't know if you guys are going to be able to hear it, but okay, so it was made in 2017. All right. You know what, Larry? I think this is the first suggestion that you've ever told me to watch, because normally I get a lot of suggestions from Pixel and Lord Visions. So let's have a look at this. Molly's Game. It's based on a true story. All right, here we go. I'm going to click on it. 2 minutes and 40 seconds. I don't know if you guys can hear it because I got my headphones on, but you gotta love these hilarious, like, commercials. It's always about dentistry or, like, redoing siding on people's houses and stuff. It's hilarious. All right, here we go. All right, here we go. I'm Molly Bloom. Do you know about me? I read your indictment after I got your call last night, and I bought your book. Do you understand that you are charged with operating an illegal gambling business? Oh, illegal gambling business. All right. Well, this is getting interesting. Well, actually, Larry, that would make sense because you when I had you on, you told me you're semi-retired and you do. You said you have a part-time job as a gambling dealer at a casino. Which, Larry, I thought that was a very cool job, like dealing people cards, like counting the chips and stuff. I was like, that's a pretty cool job, you know, like working at a casino. I bet that's exciting. This is pretty good so far. So it's not really a horror film. It's like psychological action film, kind of. That's what I'm getting out of this trailer. Oh, Michael Cera's in it. Okay. Oh, wow. That was kind of a surprise. I didn't think that would be his type of movie. Okay. So this is based on a true story. I wonder when this actually happened, like Larry, in actual like real life. It looks like from the trailer, it looks like early 2000s. That's what I'm getting out of this. But I don't really actually know when it actually took place in like real life. But I'm liking it. It looks pretty good. It's pretty good. Pretty good. A lot of big actors in this. A lot of big actors. I like it. I'll definitely have to check it out, Larry. It looks pretty cool. Pretty cool, buddy. Let's see here. see. They are in it, but only one of them wrote it. Oh, really, Pixel? Well, Pixel, I appreciate you telling me about that server, but servers are like Discords, right? And I've had horrible experiences with Discord, so nothing against you, Pixel. I checked it out, but I'm just not interested, buddy. But I've got the list, and so I will take your guys' referrals, and I'll watch them for myself. But I appreciate you telling me about it, though, Pixel. It sounded pretty cool. But trauma films, I don't know if I'm ready for. You said you have 100 of them, Pixel, on there. Fears is just getting into the trauma films, and oh my lord, after seeing Toxic Avenger, whoo! That was my first experience with a trauma film. Trauma film. Except for that one crazy scene, Visions. Oh, man, those trauma films are. I'm sorry, trauma. Trauma films are. They're intense, and they are in your face, and they're psychological, and they want that fucking wow factor. They're like, yeah, we want to fucking gross you out. So, some of Toxic Avenger, I was laughing my ass off, and then other times I was like, oh, Lord, that's disgusting, you know? So, yeah. Anyway. I can only take so much trauma films, you know? So, yeah. I understand, Pixel. I understand. I got you. I just, you know, it's just not my, I just wasn't interested in it. No offense to you, buddy, but yeah. I do love the Saw. I do like the Scream movies. Anyway, Visions, any closing remarks on this? Like I said, it's good, but it's definitely, I think I gotta say my 3 top favorites. My 3 top favorites. Out of this series, probably, I mean, obviously number 1. Number 1, you know, set the bar high. They broke a lot of rules. They made a lot of rules in horror. You know, the only one that they haven't broken yet, you're never in a play or a movie ever supposed to break the fourth wall and talk to the audience. I'm waiting for them to do that in a Scream. Because breaking the fourth wall and talking to the audience, like how they did in Ferris Bueller's Day Off, he's actually looking right at the camera, talking to the audience. You're not supposed to do that, but it's kind of tongue-in-cheek. When you do that, people get a kick out of it. Like, I remember in high school and college, I was in a couple of plays, and I broke the fourth wall and talked to the audience, and people got a big giggle out of it. You know? I played a general. Visions, I forgot to tell you about this. When I was in high school, it makes a lot of sense. I'm watching MASH 4077, and I was in a play of MASH 4077 in high school, and I played the general. And what was really cool, I don't know if I've told you guys the story. I got to borrow I borrowed my dad's uniform, and my dad let me use some of his medals, and I pinned them to the thing, and so, yeah. So it was pretty cool. As a oh man, yeah, but see, that's a lot. That's a lot, Visions. Vision says, as a self-proclaimed biggest film buff of the community. I never said I'm the biggest. I'm one of the biggest. I would say you and Pixel outbeat me. I mean, you guys know so much about movies. I'm probably the third. I would say, like, I can't, like, Visions, you and Pixel are right there. You guys are pretty neck and neck. I know I'm third, probably the biggest film buff. I mean, I watch a shitload of television and a shitload of movies, you know? But I don't know who would be first as the biggest movie buffs. I'll let you and Pixel battle that out, but I would say it's like you and Pixel first and second, and then I'm third, you know? You need to burn through some trauma films ASAP. I mean, I've got some on the list. I mean, some I've found, and some you've told me about. I'm really looking forward to watching, because even Randy did not know that this was the first film in the class. You know those high school movies that I found class of 1984. And I remember Randall going, no, 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 Fears, you're wrong. Like, the first one's class of 1999. I said, nope, Randall. I said, I did some digging. I said, the first one in the series is class of 1984. It sucks that they didn't make a class of 1983 because that's when I was born, you know? That would have been cool. That would have been cool. So it's class of 1984, then class of 1999, and then class of 1999 part deuce. So I'm looking forward to seeing those trauma films. So yeah. So yeah. Yeah, 500 free movies. It is pretty cool, Pixel. Just I don't know about all those servers. I don't know about all that stuff, you know. So plus I work a lot too, you know. And I'll be honest, I've been trying to get myself more out there, you know. I mean, I stay in this apartment a lot, and my brother and me had a conversation. He goes, "I've seen some of your streams." He goes, "You stream a lot, John." He goes, "When do you actually go out and try and look for a girl?" I go out every once in a blue moon. I said, "I'll go and see movies at the theater." And he goes, "Have you had any luck?" And he goes, "Maybe if you go to like more conventions." I said I've tried to ask out a few girls at conventions. I said it's hard though. I said at conventions they're either they're alone cosplaying and then I don't want to interrupt them, or two, they've got their nerdy boyfriend with them. And I'm like, oh well, obviously I'm not gonna go up to them and ask them out because they got their nerdy boyfriend with them. But Pixel, everybody, you guys will be proud of me. I did. I told Visions the other day. Pixel, I don't know if you watched yesterday's. Recently, I did ask some girl. I was dropping my car off, and there was this new girl at my dealership, and I was like, oh, ooh, ooh. I'm like, she looks pretty beautiful, and she was not like a model, but she wasn't like creature from the Black Lagoon. She was pretty. She was cute. She was just in the middle. I was like, Fears could probably pull that off, and she was a great conversation. I was like, this girl's perfect. I said I would be an idiot if I didn't ask her out. So I go up to her, and I did. I took Visions gave me some advice, and then Visions' girlfriend gave me some advice. Visions, you'll be proud of me. I took both you guys' advice. You said chime up a conversation. I chimed up a conversation, and I did what your girlfriend told me to do. And then we were getting chatty, and then that was the first time. So first time, and then the second time, I had to bring back my car back a second time because the first time they diagnosed the problem. I'm sorry, diagnosed the problem, and they said, yeah, Fears, your AC, it's shot for shit. He goes, we need two parts. I said, okay. I said, it can be repaired though, right? I'm like, you don't have to rip the whole damn thing out. He goes, no. He goes, I just need to rip out the old parts that broke, and then we just need to put in two parts, and then you're good to go. So I brought it back the second time, and the second time, she actually was flirting with me. The first time, Visions, I was kind of flirting with her. The second time, I was talking to the tech guy, and as I looked over to the left, she was walking by. I guess she had some papers in her hand to give to her boss, and she went like that, like she waved hi, And so I was like, oh, she remembers me. So I waved back, and I was like, all right. I said, I've got to find a time. And I took your advice, Fidge, and you're like, Fears, if she's doing something at work, don't bother. Because the last thing I want to do is bother her at work. So I was waiting. And so I striked up a conversation, and the coffee pot was right by her desk. So I'm making some coffee because my dealership's cool. They always have donuts waiting for you in the morning, if you have to wait a long time. But they're cool. They said if it's more than 4 hours, they drive you home, and then they'll call you once it's done, and then they have someone to come pick you up to pick up your car. So they said, hey, Fears, let's get your car, on the belt, and we'll see how long it's going to take. The guy comes back. I'm making the coffee. I'm chatting her up, and then he goes, oh, Fears, goes, you may want to have a driver drive you home. He goes, and I know you just came straight from work. I said, well, not straight. I came home from work, got a shower, but I am tired, and I'm up here. He goes, yeah. He goes, you need to go home and get some sleep. He goes, I'll have the driver. He goes, it's going to be probably 5 hours. And then, Visions, that's when he found out that he made a boo-boo and was like, oh, Fears, you know how I said, we only had to order one part and I had the first part? And I was like, yeah. He goes, I'm going to get you a loaner car. He goes, because it was my mistake, and come to find out we need two parts. So my bad. But he goes, let's get you up here, and he goes, I'll get you set up with a loaner car. So when I came back, I thought, all right, this is my chance. This is my chance. I said, I got to find a time, either when she's at her desk alone, and someone works right by her desk, right, Vision? So I was like, I can't ask her out when the girl that has a desk side by side, because then that girl start gossiping like, "Oh, I can't believe this guy asked you out at work." I was like, I gotta find a time when she gets up from her desk or she's alone at her desk, and and I guess I don't know if it was fate, destiny, or whatever. But when I got there, I thought, okay, I can't put this off. I'm like, you never know until you try. My dad always said, even if they say no, like there's many more fish in the sea, and I hadn't asked out like a girl in real life. Normally, it's different when you're like chatting with girls online, like the dating apps that I'm using, and I'm saying, hey, I would love to hang out sometime. That's different. I hadn't asked a girl out in real life in quite a while. So even though she said no, Pixel, I'm still kind of proud of myself. So I walked up. I said, "Hey," I said, "How you doing?" She goes, "Hey." She goes, "What are you doing back?" I said, "Oh," I said, "Unfortunately," I said they're gonna have to get me a loaner car, and uh, he made a boo boo, and he said, she goes, "Oh yeah," she goes, "I heard they had to order a second part." She goes, "That must be annoying." I was like, "Yeah," but I said the guy didn't mean to. He goes, "It's fine." I said, "As long as I have a car for this weekend." And she goes, "Oh yeah," she goes, "You're going to that convention, right?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "I am." I said, "I was telling you about that last time." And I said, "I just didn't want to be stuck without a car." I said, "Because if I was stuck without a car, then I'd have to Uber to the convention, then Uber back." And I said, "I don't want to spend all that money." And she goes, "Yeah." She goes, "They're gonna get you a replacement." And in my mind, I was like, "This is the perfect time to ask her out because there's like that girl that works beside her, Pixel. She was nowhere to be found." I'm like, "Oh, this is perfect." So I kind of eased into it. I said, "Hey," I said, "I just want to let you know." I said, "You're a really good." I said, "You're a really good conversationist." And she goes, "Yeah, so are you, John." She goes, "You're very outgoing. You're very nice." She goes, "I've definitely enjoyed our conversation." And then I was easing into. I said, "You're kind of new, right?" I said, "Mostly." I said, "I've been going to this dealership for like 5 years since I live out here now." She goes, "Oh yeah." She goes, "I'm brand new." She goes, "I've only been here like 2.5 weeks." Oh, and oh, right on. I said, "Hey," I said, "I hope this isn't too forward, but I just wanted to ask you something." And she goes, "Yeah, go ahead." I said, "I think you're really cool." I said, I said, "We seem to be getting along quite well." I said, "I love our conversations." I said, "I would be honored if you'd love to like hang out sometime." And then she's like, and she goes, "Oh," she goes, as what?" She goes, "Friends, an actual date?" I said, "Whatever you want to do." I said, "We can start off as friends, and then if one thing leads to another, then we can go to a date." I said, anything that you want to do." I said, "I just think you're really cool." And I said, I've been enjoying our conversations." I said, "I would be honored to like take you out, grab a cup of coffee." I said, "We can go to the beach." I said, "Whatever you want to do." And she's like, "Well," she's like, "I really appreciate you asking me out." And she goes, "I hate to be a downer." She goes, "Because I do think you're a nice guy." And then in my mind, I'm like, "Oh, here we go. Here's the brush off." But she actually has a good excuse, Pixel. She goes, "Well," she goes, "I don't go out a whole lot." She goes, "I'm a single mother and I have to take care of my kiddo." And I said, "Oh," I said, "Okay, I understand." I said, "Being a single parent," I said, "that's a big responsibility." And she goes, "Yeah." She goes, "Exactly." And she goes, "So I have hardly any time for myself." She goes, "I get up." She goes, "I make her breakfast. I take her to school. I work like 10 hours and then I come home. I make her dinner, read her a couple of stories, and then me and her are both in bed by like 7 or 8. And I said, "Well," I said, "listen," I said, "the offer is always on the table." I said, "I work a lot during the week, but I said, I have my days off." I said, "I work late at night." And then she asked what I did. I told her what I did. I said, "So," I said, "if you do want to hang out," I said, "probably Saturday and Sunday would be like the best time." She goes, "Oh," she goes, "Yeah." She goes, "Me too." She goes, "Saturday and Sunday would definitely be better." And I said, "Well," I said, "I'll tell you what." I said, "Even though it's a no right now," I said, "You don't I said, "Why don't you think about it?" I said, "You don't have to answer now." I said, "When I come back to pick up my car," I said, "Think about it. Let me know." And she's like, "Well, most guys would not want to hang out with me because I have a kid." I said, "Well," I said, "I'm a big kid." I said, "I'm great with kids." I said, "My mom used to babysit," and I said, "I would come home from school and help my mom babysit the kids." And I said, "I'm a big kid myself. I'm a big nerd." So I said, "Kids don't scare me." I said, "I want to be a dad someday. I want kids." So I said, "That's not a problem." I said, "So if you want to work around your schedule," I said, "if you're game to hang out, I'm game to hang out." And she's like, "Yeah, let me think about it." And then she's like, "But don't get your hopes up, though." She goes, "I don't want to hurt your feelings." I said, "No." I said, "It's either going to be yes, I'd love to hang out," or no, I'm too busy. And I'm like, and if you say no, it's too busy, I completely understand. And I said the offer will always be on the table. And I said, you never know, maybe somewhere down the road we can hang out. And she went, "Fair enough, fair enough." And she's like, "I just don't want you to get your hopes up." I said, "No." I said, "I'm not gonna get my hopes up." I said, "Just Let me know what you think. She goes, yeah. She goes, I'll definitely think about it. So even though it was a no, I was pretty proud of myself because I hadn't asked out a girl like face to face in a while. A while. Anyway, let's see here. Let me get back to the comments. Let's see. Let's see here. Uh, I recently added all the King of the Hill series. Oh, nice. Yeah, well, I've watched, Pixel, I haven't watched all of King of the Hill, but I've watched a lot of the King of the Hill series, and that's some pretty funny cartoons. I feel like Pixel has seen much more. I'm trying to catch up. Yeah, listen, Visions. Pixel has seen a lot, but see, I mean, you guys are almost neck and neck. Visions. You and Pixel refer me action, comedy, horror movies all the time, and some stuff I've been like, oh yeah, I've heard of that. And other things I'm like, I've never heard of this. It's fucking hilarious. Like, without Pixel and your friendship Visions, I would never own. I wouldn't own them now, and I wouldn't even know what the fuck it was. Like, I never heard of Night the Comet. I've never heard of Shopping Mall, which was fucking great. And my brother bought it for me last year for Christmas. My brother's like, you sure you want this? He goes, it's kind of cheesy. I'm like, you know me by now. I'm like, I fucking love that cheese, man. And my brother's like, all right. He goes, I'll get it for you. He goes, if that's what you really want. I said, yeah. I said, I want to see this fucking film. You know, I want the Blu-ray because I'd already seen it, but I wanted to watch all the bonus features. So yeah. So, to me, Visions, I think you and Pixel are pretty much neck and neck. You know, so that's my take on it. Let's see here. Me and Visions are tied for the cheesiest Supreme movies. I mean, you guys have shown me a lot of cheesy. But Pixel, I will say, you've got the strongest stomach of the community. Fears could barely get through that Cannibal Holocaust shit. That is the most bloodiest, craziest fucking movie trailer I've ever seen in my life. Probably the next runner-up was that Pieces one, where the kid he's like 8 years old, and he looks all sweet and innocent, and he's like, hey, guess what? Good news. I'm going to kill my sister with a fucking axe. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? What the fuck am I watching? It was nuts. It was insane. So I don't know. I don't know if I'll ever. The other one. What's the other one? Pixel, the one where the whole room is filled with blood, and he kills like what? 20 zombies with a lawnmower. What's that one called again? I'm gonna try to force myself to watch through that because one, that lawnmower thing looked fucking hilarious, even though it was super bloody, and two, it's a British film, and the zombie makeup looked cool, but it's bloody, man. So I'm gonna try to watch that one though. I just forgot the name of it though, but yeah, that one was nuts. So yeah. It was pretty nuts. Pixel says, you should have given her a smooch. Listen, Pixel, it's not that I didn't want to, because she was cute, man. She was very, very, and she was sweet. She was pretty adorable, and but I understand where she's coming from. I mean, that's a big responsibility. And she said, I'm not really ready for a relationship. She goes, the father of my child, my daughter, he did a big number on me. I went, oh, I'm like, was it bad? I said, it's none of my business. And she goes, oh, it's okay. She goes, yeah. She goes, he did a number on me. But she's like, she goes, there was some good that came out of it, though. And I was like, well, what good came out of someone treating you terrible? She goes, I convinced the court that he's a terrible person and that I got full custody of my daughter. I said, at least you don't ever have to deal with that idiot ever, anymore. And I said, you can focus on your daughter. And she went, yeah. She goes, my daughter was terrified of him. I'm terrified of him. And she goes, I don't even want to go into what happened. I said, oh, wow. I said, well, one, it's none of my business. I said, and two, just by you saying that, it seems like it was intense. And she goes, yeah. She goes, he wasn't a good guy. She goes, he was very fake. He started off nice and then turned out to be a nightmare. And I went, well, I said, now you never have to deal with the guy ever again. And I said, that's hard, though. I said, never to see your child ever again. And she goes, yeah. She goes, unfortunately, I had to go there. I was like, well, you got to do what you got to do. I said, sometimes, people can't take a hint, so. Anyway. Yeah, but she seemed wonderful. She seemed nice, but I understand being a. I don't know what being a single parent is like. I'm sure it's a big, big, big responsibility. So I didn't take it that bad. I was kind of bummed because I was like, man, I'm like this girl sounds so cool. I really want to hang out with her, but at least I had the courage, because again, what did my dad always say? You never know until you try. And my dad's like, John, it's either going to go to, my dad would always say, it's going to go two ways. Either she's going to be, oh, yes, I'd love to hang out, or no, sorry, I can't do it. If it's a no, no harm, no foul. You move on to the next girl. There's many more fish in the sea. Let's see here. Uh, Vision says, try to avoid words like boo hoo or tummy when talking to women. They will likely view you as a child. I don't think I've ever said boo hoo or tummy to a girl, Visions, but I will take that advice, buddy. I've never said boo hoo or tummy uh, uh, to a chick. I'm pretty damn sure I haven't said that, but duly noted. Duly noted, buddy. Let's see here. Let me scroll down here. Oh, it's from New Zealand. It's from New Zealand. That's right. That's right. Yeah, that was Dead Alive and then Brain Dead. Okay. Wait, which one was the one with the... Is Dead Alive the one with the lawnmower? And then I don't remember Brain Dead. Hang on, let me Google that one. Brain Dead. Let me Google. I know I've watched that one before, but let me just see the... Brain Dead trailer. Oh, yeah. This... Yeah. I've seen this one. Yep. Dead Alive. Dead Alive was the Peter Jackson movie. Yep. Mm-hmm. Let's see here. I just don't remember. Yes, I'm sorry. Dead Alive had the lawnmower sequence. Brain Dead was the one with the oh, what was it? The had that weird. Hang on, let me just watch it again. I can't really describe. It had like had the brains in jars or some shit, and then like the piece of skin or something was like it was a guy without a brain. And he was like talking to a scientist or something. I can't remember what it was. Yep, I remember. I remember this one. Yeah, definitely want to check out both of these. But I remember Brain Dead wasn't as bad as Dead Alive. Dead Alive. When I saw that lawnmower scene, I was like, holy moly, that's a lot of blood. Yep, now I remember. Yeah, that was nuts. And I'm just thinking the whole time, I'm like, well, I'm glad that I got two buddies that show me these, but I'm like, Pixel, where the hell do you find this stuff? You know what I'm saying? That one was pretty nuts. That was pretty nuts, but yeah. So I'm excited to watch those. So yeah. Who's excited for the college stories? I know I am. We're getting there. Oh, I did say that, Visions. I did say that. Yeah, I did. But you know what? Even I forgot. Yeah, I did say that to her. Boo hoo. I said the guy made a boo boo, but she didn't really take it like I was being a child. The guy made a mistake. I should have said the guy made a mistake, but I said it so quick she probably didn't even hear me say it. But she thought I was such a nice guy. She said, "I'm not lying to you, John." She goes, "I don't lie to people." She goes, "If I didn't have a kid, I would be interested." She goes, "You're very good conversationist." She goes, "I'm definitely intrigued. I'm definitely interested." She goes, "You're a good-looking guy." She goes, "The only reason," she goes, "I have absolutely no time." She goes, "I go to work. I take care of my kid." She goes, "Right now it's kind of tough." And I said, "I understand." I said, "That would be a big responsibility for anyone." And I said, "And if you have children, that's the biggest responsibility to take care of your family." I'm like, "I get it. I totally understand." So, yeah. So I'm like, but I was pretty proud of myself for asking her out because I was like, well, you never know until you try. I wish she would have said yes though, because I'm sure we could have worked around her schedule, but She said, let me think about it. So, yeah. Explain to the folks at home what brain in jars means. In the trailer, there was brains in the jar. I was just kind of like describing what the trailer was saying. I was trying to remember what the thing. John Fears, where do you get these ideas from? I don't know. I get them. Visions. I get a lot of these from you and Pixel. You know. You know. No, they're not the same movie. I saw two different, or well, at least they looked like two different trailers. They looked like two trailers. If they're the same movie, then I understand. But why is there two different names for them then? They looked like two different films. I don't know. Maybe I'm getting confused here. They looked exactly. They looked totally different. Let me go to YouTube again. Let me go to YouTube again. I thought they were two different films. Maybe that's what I'm getting confused about. Okay, so Dead Alive trailer. Okay, that one was made in 1992. Okay, so, and it says Peter Jackson movie. And I thought that was cool because I remember I was like, oh, I'm like Peter Jackson, I'm like before he did all Lord of the Rings stuff, I was like, oh, okay, this is where he started. You got to start somewhere in film. Then what was the other one? The other one was called Brain Dead. So then when you write on YouTube, Brain Dead trailer, it says Brain Dead 1999. So that's why I thought they were a different film, because Dead Alive says it was made in 1992, and then it says Brain Dead 1990 official trailer. And they look totally different. I mean, if they're the same film, though, or if one of them's a sequel, they just look totally different. Like, I watched the trailer, and it looks, for Brain Dead, and it looks totally different. That's why I thought it was a different movie. It looks like it's a different movie, but if they're the same movie, one and the same, then there it is. I'm just getting confused. So, Visions, Pixel, let me know if they're the same movie. To me, doing the research, it looks like, well, if one says it was made in 1990 and the other one says 1992, that's a pretty good indication that they're two different films. I could be wrong, but it looks like it's two different films. But anyway, because I remember watching both of them. But again, I could be wrong. Let's see. The movie you were describing of someone talking to a head sounded like Reanimator, which you may or may not like. But yeah, Dead Alive and Brain Dead are the same movie. Well, then why on YouTube would it say that they were made in different years? That's why I'm thinking. I mean, there could be another horror movie that's called Brain Dead. Because I know sometimes horror movies have the same name. But I don't know. It's all good. It's just practice for the next time you ask someone out. I mean, I think it went pretty good, Visions. Even though she said no, like she was really nice about it, and she said if I didn't have a kid and I wouldn't be as busy as I am, I would totally spend some time with you. And she said, let me think about it. She goes, maybe we can work around my schedule. She goes, so at first it was a no, and then she said, well, you know what, John? She goes, I feel bad. You're such a nice guy. She goes, I'm going to switch it to a maybe. I went, listen, I said, maybe is not a no. And then she went, well, at first it was a no, but she's like, you're right. She goes, no one's that busy where we couldn't work around our schedule, I said, yeah, I said, obviously you're more busy than me. I said, I'm a single guy. I don't have any kids yet. I said, I'd like to be married someday, like to have kids someday, but I said, it's just me. And then she's like, where's your family? I said, my family, I said, I have one friend out here. Well, I said two friends. I just haven't heard from one friend in a while. I haven't heard from Sam in forever. But I said, I have my one friend, Randall, that went to school with me. I said, he's been out here for like 11 years. I said, and then I said, all my other family lives in Missouri. And she's like, oh, that's cool. And she's like, you like living out here? And I said, yeah. I said, it's great. I said, sometimes it's a little bit too hot. But I said, besides that, It's pretty cool living out here. So yeah. But anyway, I'm getting confused. I'm telling you, DVD, Blu-ray guy, they don't look like the same film. If you Google it, but again, like I said, sometimes horror movies have the same names. So maybe the other one, they just looked two different types of. They looked different each movie, and then they had two different years. Like the other one said 1992, the other one said 1990. It's very possible that another horror movie or another movie out there had the same title. But it's weird. Why, if they're one and the same, why wouldn't they have one title? Pixel. That's what I'm baffled about. Why would they call the movie Dead Alive, slash Brain Dead? You know what I'm saying? To me, they look like two different types of films. But I don't know. I'd always known it as Dead Alive, but online seems like it's mostly known as Brain Dead, the original. Okay, so if that's the original, okay. That was bad taste. See, I'm getting confused on these. I know Peter Jackson made a couple of horror movies before he did Lord of the Rings. I know he did Bad Taste and then the Dead Alive one. And that's the one, Visions, that you said, I don't know if you'd like that, Fears, but it was hilarious. Bad Taste. There was some guy like with a deformed head and he was like having his finger up like that, and then he was like in a black and white suit. That looked hilarious. I can't wait to watch that one, actually. So yeah. Anyway. Oh, shit. Wow, Larry and Visions are getting spicy in the chat. Larry says, I felt lost, surrounded by all of you movie experts. The most informed, intelligent group on YouTube. And Vision said it's called autism, Larry. Look into it. Damn! Oh, Larry. I don't think Larry has autism. Come on, Visions. I don't think he does. I think he's just pulling your chain. So, yeah. But yeah. Never seen it, Visions, LOL. Brain Dead is the title of it in New Zealand. Oh, okay, so Pixel said it. He says Brain Dead is the title in New Zealand, and Dead Alive is what it's known as here. Could have different release dates. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Okay. Fears, pretend the camera is a pretty lady and give us your best pickup line. That's not going to happen. I don't do pickup lines, Triple. I just talk to people like they're human beings, and I skip all the pickup lines. You know, girls can see through all that crap. If you're honest and genuine to a girl, girls like honesty, and they don't like to be fucked around with. So I skip all the pickup line bullshit and just have an actual conversation with a girl, you know? So yeah. Oh, you did Visions? Okay, nice. Well, is Sam all right? Like what did he say? You know, because I haven't heard anything from Sam. Visions says, "Oh, by the way, I saw Sam pop up in the Discord last night." Well, that's good. I hope he's doing all right because I haven't heard anything from him. So I'm glad. Hopefully, he's all right. Pick says, Exhumed Vision is saying perhaps me and him have autism. I don't think you have autism, Pixel, nor Visions. You guys are just pretty passionate about horror movies. Like me, I love horror movies too. I think they're hilarious, you know? So yeah. Fears, pretend the camera is a pretty lady, skip all the pickup lines and talk. You know what, Triple? I'm not going to do that. Because obviously, Triple, you're a guy and you're not a nice, pretty lady. You know? Whenever I hang out with a girl, I just ask the normal questions. Hi, how are you? Oh, your name's Tiffany. My name's John. Nice to meet you. Hey, where do you work? You know, it's nothing. It's nothing special. It's just having a nice conversation with a nice girl and getting to know them before you ask them out. You know, that's why I talked to that girl at the car dealership not once, not twice, but 3 times. And on the 3rd time, that's when I asked her out because I had gotten to know her, not a lot, but at least a little bit. You know, because it would be quite random if I only had a 2-minute conversation with her. Hey, you're hot. Go out with me, you know? But I'm being honest, though, Pixel, Visions, Triple, everybody else. Even though it was a no, I was pretty proud of myself because in my mind, I was like, well, I haven't asked out a chick like face to face in a long time. In a long, long time. And I was like, Fears, you're not gonna get anyone. If you don't make an effort. And I have been making an effort, but I hadn't asked anyone in real life because it's different. Like online, it's so much easier to ask out chicks online. You just go to their profile, you read their profile, you send them a message, say, hey, Deborah, what's going on? Hey, I liked your profile, pretty cool pictures. Hey, I noticed that me and you have got something in common. Oh, you go to church, so do I. Hey, you know what? I'd love to get a cup of coffee. Let me know if you'd like to hang out sometime. Yours truly, John. I keep it very short and sweet to the point, whenever I'm messaging girls. Ghostbusters was called SOS in the French posters. It's like that. Okay. He just posted a pic of himself. He didn't say much. Well, listen, Visions, I'm glad that Sam's alive. I'm glad he's doing okay. I'm glad that he's at least alive because I have not heard. That's the most I've heard. So I'm glad he's doing all right. I wish he would have said what was going on, but at least he sent a picture. So I'm glad that he's doing all right. Anyway, I'm glad everybody enjoyed this review. Visions gave it a 6 out of 10. I gave it an 8 out of 10. Pixel, what would you give this? From 1 being the worst movie ever to 10 being the best. What would you give this, Pixel? Because we never got your rating. But will they make a 7th one? I'm veering towards more yes, they will. Because the other day when I was on Facebook, I was writing an old friend from high school, my old friend from high school that was on the wrestling team, was like, hey, Fierce, we haven't talked in a while. Catch me up. What you been doing? I told him what I've been doing. And I said, hey, what have you been doing? And then he said, hey, Fierce, guess what? And he goes, somebody linked this to me, and he sent me some pictures of the new poster of Scream 7, and it was like Ghostface in the back with like tons of blood like dripping down the Ghostface mask, and then 2 knives making a 7. And I was like, I'm like, that's a pretty cool picture. And I said, is that like fan art? I said, or is that an actual poster? And he goes, I don't know, Fears. He goes, my friend sent it to me, and then that movie made me think of you because he goes, I know you've loved horror movies ever since like we went to high school together. So he said, Fears are going to kick out of this. I better send it to him. So I was like, well, listen, if they made a 6 and they made a 5, they made a 4, most likely they're going to make a 7. And he's like, yeah, Fears, probably. I said, they will. I said, they always make sequels. I said, and they make a lot of horror sequels. A lot. So, yeah. All right. Next topic. Let me go to my Facebook so I can read you guys the big convention news. Because I'd say Jeff's biggest show that he puts on is Super RetroCon. I'm telling you, Pixel, if you ever go to any one of Jeff's shows, Pixel, I am telling you, you will love Super RetroCon. So, Pixel, if you ever want to come down and visit Fears and go to one of those shows with me, I'm telling you, Super RetroCon next year is the one to do. And Jeff said, I talked to him the other day on my show and off my show, and he said, Fears, people are starting to love Super RetroCon so much. He goes, instead of doing just 1 a year, doing 2 a year. I said, I love Super RetroCon, buddy. I said, whether you do 1 a year, 4 a year, 9 a year, whatever, I said, I'll be to every single one of those Super RetroCons because they're that fucking good. So, Pixel, if he does 1 or 2 next year, you've definitely got to come out to one of those, buddy. I'm telling you, you will love it. Anyway, so let me go to Facebook so I can read you guys all this information. Which, by the way, tonight I'm buying my ticket. I'm buying my my ticket for the convention this weekend. So yeah. Larry says, do you think I would enjoy trauma films? I think you would, Larry. Maybe not all of them, but some of them. I mean, a lot of them is what Pixel's saying. A lot of them are super hilarious, cheesy, or they're super cheesy but fucking gory and nasty, you know? So they're definitely filled with like cheesy stuff and junk and all the stuff that like Pixel's saying. Now, some scenes I don't agree with. I'm telling you guys. I'm sure you guys are sick and tired of me saying it. The one scene out of the Toxic Avenger, I loved the rest of the film, but man, that one scene was just so fucked up. I could not believe that they were allowed to put that on film. I was like, this is so nuts. It was insane. It made me sick, that one scene. So, all right, let me go to Jeff's website so I can read you guys all this cool news. I'm very excited for this show. Very excited. So, yeah. All right. You know what? I haven't went to his website. Oh, yeah, Florida Toy Shows. My bad. All right, so let me read you all this stuff. So, yeah, here we go. All right, here we go. So, right off the bat, so it's August 12th and the 13th, so a 2-day con. It's called the Central Florida Collectors Toy Fest. You got free parking. If you bring your children, every child from 1 to 7 gets a Hot Wheel toy, a free Hot Wheel toy. So if you're going to bring your children, they get a free Hot Wheels toy. Over 15,000 square inch of toys, collectibles, and much, much more. Special guests include Jake the Snake, Brutus Beefcake, Keith Coogan, and much, much more. I'm very excited for Keith Coogan because I've already met him. We became buddies. He follows my Instagram. I follow his Instagram. Such a cool guy. He was in such films as Adventures in Babysitting, Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead. He was in one of my favorite 80s action films, Toy Soldiers. Very cool. And then, let's see, what else? Let's see here. Where's the rest of the... let's see here. There's going to be 3 giveaways, and the prizes, some are toy prizes, some are cash prizes. Let's see, what else? I'm trying to find the rest of it. Part of the donations, Jeff's really into charity like I am. Part of the donations is going to 2 of his favorite charities. On Saturday, I guess Jeff changed the time. It did start at 7:30. Now if you want to go to this, now the new dates. On Sunday it's from 9 to 4, and on Saturday it did start at 7:30. Now it's from 9 until 5 o'clock. And then after, he's going to have his party, which I was invited to. So I'm really looking forward to Jeff's party. So yeah, and then let me click on, let's see, what else? Let's see, I think that's everything. But if you guys are in the area, I would love to see some of the fans come out and hang out with good old Fears. So I'm going to buy my ticket tonight. Over 250 tables. So that's a lot. That's a lot of tables. And Jeff told me that, he goes, Fears, this show is going to be a lot bigger than last year. And I said, how many tables did we have last year? He goes around 100, 150. I was like, okay, so I'm like 200 more. I'm sorry, 150 more. And he went, oh yeah. He goes, it's definitely Fears. It's going to be a whole lot bigger. And I'm like, and I looked at him and I was like, well, 15,000 square inch. I said, that's a lot, buddy. And he went, well, he goes, but Fears, between all of my videos that I put on my Facebook and all the pictures that I've took and all of your videos that you put out, he goes, I wanted to thank you for, giving me tons of plugs, to my shows and stuff. And he goes, it seems to be more people are catching on to it. More people want to come to these shows. And I was like, hey, anything I can do to help out a friend, buddy. I'm glad that they're catching on. But as far as I know, that's all of the information I have on the show as of right now. So just to clarify, you got toys, comics, video games, 3 celebrities so far coming, but Jeff said there may be more coming. 15,000 square inch, over 250 vendors. 3 giveaways, and it's on Saturday and Sunday, August 12th to the 13th. If you're going to come on Saturday, he switched it from 7:30. Now it's from 9 to 5 at night. Sunday from 9 in the morning to 4. And then you've got the big party Saturday night. But Jeff said you have to get an invite on that because he said, Fears, he goes, I invited all 3 celebrities and I invited the vendors. He's like, but you're so cool. That's why I threw you an invite. And I was like, hey, I will be there. I will be there with bells on, buddy. So, yeah. So, Be sure, if you want to come to this show, go to Florida Toy Shows and Expos on Facebook or go to the website. So check it out. So that's all the information I have. Let's see. Pixel says Sam acted kind of distant on the Discord. Said something about cutting ties and how he didn't want all of us to know he was back. Wow. I wonder why. Again, I have no idea what's. I guess he's going through some stuff. I have no idea. But if that's really the case, Pixel, I mean, I wish Sam well. We never got into a fight, so I don't know. Maybe he just needs some time. I mean, I hope he's doing okay. I really do. So, but I don't know why he would want to cut ties from certain people and all that. I have no idea. It's kind of a shock, you know. But I wish him well. I really do, because he's a good guy. Sam is a really good guy. So I hope that isn't true, you know. But you know what? I've called him a bunch. I've texted him a lot. So it's in his hands now if he wants to reach out. Maybe me reaching out to him is getting him more mad, you know, or maybe he's going through something. I don't really know. I haven't heard not one thing from him. So I don't know if it was something that I did, but I've been racking my brain. I don't know what I could have done to make him upset. If it really is me. If it's not me, maybe he's going through something with his job or his family. I have absolutely no idea. So I couldn't tell you, Pixel. So I'm not going to call him for a while. You know, I'm going to probably wait like maybe a month or two and then try to give him another call. You know, he hasn't blocked me on anything. So I don't know. I don't know what it is. I really don't know what it is. So I hope he's doing all right. I mean, I'm just glad he's alive and he's okay. I really do, because I have no idea. I'm kind of baffled. I really am. I hope me and Sam get to hang out again. I really do. I'm not even kidding. I hope I really do, because I don't know. I don't know what it was. Larry says that's cool. Jeff invited you to the party. Yeah, I'm really excited about that. I really am. You know. Do you think Jake the Snake will bring his snake to the party? That would be cool, because Jeff said, I don't know if the celebrities are coming to the party. He goes, but I did invite them. I went, well, Jeff, I said, I guess we'll find out, you know, so I'm really looking forward to it. So yeah. So yeah. Yeah, I probably wouldn't be too pumped if I was trying to distance myself from someone or somebody and they kept calling me. So yeah, exactly, DVD Blu-ray guy. I said, so maybe I'm making it worse. Maybe he's going through something and the more I call, maybe that's getting him more upset. So, because I'm telling you, I don't know what it could be, because with the last time we hung out, everything was fine. Me and Sam never got into an argument. We were having fun, axe throwing, and then we went to dinner, and then he said, all right, he goes, well, he goes, I'll call you in a couple days, and then, or he said, I'll call you tomorrow, and I called him tomorrow, and that conversation was fine, and then I asked him, I said, hey, are you still cool with taking me to the airport? And he said, yeah. He goes, I got you covered, Feared, no worries. And that was it. And then I haven't heard from him since. So I know it's nothing that I did. And I've been trying to rack my brain. And I just can't figure it out. But it's none of my business what he's going through. But I hope one day he tells me, you know, because me and Sam were good friends, you know. I mean, I consider Sam a great friend. He's a great guy. We had a hell of a time together. I really don't. I'm baffled. Really am baffled. I hope some stupid troll didn't like call him and like tell him, you know, things or made up some shit about me. But then I told that to Heroes, and Heroes like, well, Fear Sam knows better not to believe those idiots. And I said, yeah, I said that's true, you know. So I really don't know. But I'm just glad that he's okay and that I hope he's doing well, you know. But I'm glad that you guys heard from him, though. I really am, Pixel. So I guess we'll see what happens. You know, hopefully in the future we'll see. You know, but I do miss him. I do miss his friendship, and I do miss him. So let's hope that it all works out for the best. You know, but yeah, hopefully, I'm hoping things will turn out for the best. I really do. You know, so I'm not gonna call him for about a month or two, and then in about 2 or 3 months I'll give him a call, and I hope he picks up. You know, because I would like to hear what's going on. And if I actually did do something, then I could apologize. I don't know what it could be, but if I actually did something and I owe him an apology, then I would like to apologize. But I can't think of for the death of me what I could have done because I've been nothing but nice to Sam. But again, maybe it's not me. Maybe he's going through something with his family or his personal life, something. I have no idea. But whatever he's going through, I hope things get better because I have not heard one thing. But anyway, all right. So that's all the convention news. So I'm very excited about that. So hey, if you guys are in the area and you guys want to come hang out, you guys know where to check out all that information. And it'd be cool to see some fans come out to a show one of these days. That would be really cool. All right. Last, but certainly not least, Larry, I got 2 stories. I don't think I've ever told you guys these 2 stories from college. I've told you guys some of them. So, fears, as a young guy, it was the first time that I was kind of away from the family, doing my own thing. And I'm sorry to say this, but, when you're young, you think you can do anything, right? So I'm like, I got greedy, and I started dating this chick. And then I was like, well, maybe I could date another chick, That's the only time in college I dated 2 chicks at the same time. And they found out, and whoo, they were mad, as anyone would be. So yeah. But I really wouldn't call it that cheating because I never classified, hey, we're boyfriend and girlfriend. I just started dating some girl, and then I just started dating another girl. Because I don't cheat. Like, if I say, hey, I'm your boyfriend, you're my girlfriend, then I'm a one-woman guy. But I couldn't decide between these 2 chicks. So one girl I met from she lived in my apartment complex, and I met her at the pool. And I was like, oh, wow, this girl's pretty hot. And then the other girl, she lived like maybe 15 minutes away from my apartment in Arizona. And I found her on a dating app. So I had to be real careful. But what happened is everything was going great. And I was getting a little sexy time from her and a little sexy time from the other girl. And I was like, man, this is every guy's dream, right? Ended horribly. So I made 2 mistakes. So the first mistake, I had both girls' number, right? I get up to use the restroom, and the other girl that was off the dating site, she texted me. The other girl that I met at the pool, she was like, oh, who's this? And I was like, oh, shit. And you guys know I'm not good at lying. And so I just tried to pull off the, oh, well, yeah, she's just a friend. And then she's like, oh, bullshit, John. She goes, by the look of her text, it seems like you're more than friends. And that was the first time where the girl said, you're a pig. Bam! Slapped me across the face. And she goes, oh, so you're cheating on me. She goes, oh, it's over. And I was like, wow. I'm like, well, fair enough. I probably shouldn't have been dating 2 chicks at the same time. But I thought, oh, it's okay. At least I got the other girl, right? Oh, God. Has fears progressed so much as being a wee little lad fears. I think this happened like when I was 24-ish, 25-ish. So what I should have did is, after that girl slapped me, I should have just, deleted her number out of my phone, right? So I'm hanging out with the other girl. And what happens? I never thought that girl that slapped me would text me again. So the girl's over at my house, and we're just kind of laying on the floor, making out, watching a movie and stuff. And then I said, I'll be right back. I said, I need to use the restroom. I should have took my phone with me. I left my phone, on the coffee table. Ring-a-ling-ling, ding-a-ling-ling. The girl that slapped me called me. I guess she was trying to hey, I guess she was trying to apologize that she slapped me, and maybe she was going to give me a second chance. When I get back and she goes, oh, hey, John. And I said, yeah. She goes, someone left you a message. Someone rang. Okay, I'm like, I'll just answer it later. She goes, well, I've already answered it. I was like, you answered my phone? She goes, yeah. She goes, and I heard some pretty interesting information. And I was like, who called? And she's like, oh, I think you know who called. And at first, in my mind, I was like, I hope it wasn't that other chick. And I said, no, but what I really said was, no, I don't know who it was, because I wasn't 100% sure that it was the other girl. She goes, were you dating another girl while you were dating me? And I was like, you know what, John? I'm like, just be honest. And I said, yes, I was. And I said, I'm sorry I didn't tell you. And I said, but I said, I thought I could date multiple people because I said I never said that me and you were boyfriend and girlfriend. And I didn't say to the other girl that I was boyfriend and girlfriend. I said I was just dating a bunch of girls to try to find the best one. And then she's like, I can't believe you did this to me. And I said, well, I said, I'm not lying. I'm being honest with you. I said, because at that point, I wasn't ready to settle down. Now that I'm older, I'm ready to settle down. But, back in the college days, I was in my prime. I was like, yeah, dating 2 chicks, boozing every night, going to tons of parties, hanging out with friends, I had a different mindset in college, So I said, well, listen, I said, if I hurt your feelings, I apologize. And I said, I'm really sorry. And then she's like, well, I just want to let you know that we're done. And I went, all right, fair enough. And she's like, you probably should have deleted the girl's number out of your phone. And I was like, yep, I probably should have, So you were doing what I call sampling. I guess if that's what you want to call it, Larry. So the other girl did not slap me, but the girl just said, I'm kind of hurt, even though we weren't boyfriend and girlfriend, we were dating. She goes, so you wasted my time. So she goes, I'm just going to get up and I'm going to leave right now. And I went, all right, fair enough. And I said, I am sorry. And she goes, I just want to let you know. She goes, you just lost a great girl. And I went, okay. And she left, and I was like, well, damn, now I'm not dating anyone now. So lesson learned. Don't date 2 chicks at the same time, I thought I could pull it off, though, but apparently I could not pull it off. So there it is. That was, so at least I only got slapped in the face by one of those girls. Because the first girl, she was pissed. She was pissed. It just sucked that both girls really liked me, but I was just doing what any guy would do, I'm sure there's tons of guys that have done that. Hell, one of my buddies in college, I don't know how he pulled this off. He dated 4 girls at once, I could only keep up with 2, So, plus dating 2 chicks at the same time, it got to be pretty expensive because you have to do certain activities with them, and so yeah. Anyway, lesson learned. So that is story number 1. Story number 2, Larry. All right, here we go. So this one's not really risque. I just think it's pretty cool. So we were in. I don't remember the name of the class that I was in, but it was getting towards the end of senior year. I'm sorry. It wasn't the end of senior year. It was the beginning of my senior year, and me and a group of guys wanted to use a car in a short film. And this is back when I still had my Tibber on, and so I thought this was pretty cool. So it's not as risque as the last one, but it's still a pretty cool story. So I think you guys have seen some of the old videos, so you guys maybe know which video I'm talking about. So we never got to finish it because we ran out of time, but I got some of the behind-the-scenes footage, and me and a bunch of friends were sitting around. We were trying to come up with ideas for short films and shit. And my friend's like, well, Fierce, you got a Tiburon, right? He goes, that's a pretty cool sports car. I said, yeah. I said, it's a pretty cool car. And he's like, dude, what we should do is we should pull your car into the into the sound stage and put it behind the green screen. And he goes, we could make a monster movie. And I said, well, what do you got in mind? He goes, well, we could have somebody driving the car. And again, everyone was spitballing ideas. And I'm like, well, what's the monster? He goes, I haven't figured that out yet. He goes, but wouldn't it be cool if you or me or somebody was in the car alone driving, or pretending to drive, and then maybe we put like an Arizona highway, like on the green screen, and then just have all these monsters like chasing behind you, and they jump onto your car. And I said that actually would be pretty cool. I said I love monster movies. I like horror movies. I said that would be pretty cool. And so for a while, I thought it was so awesome and so rad that like my car got to be uh like a set piece. And so I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. So every day we opened up these massive doors, brought my car onto the green screen because they had a massive green screen like set at my school, and they had these big double doors off to the right that you could bring in stuff like props. Uh, they had a crane camera that you could bring in and shoot like with a crane with a camera on a crane. The end you could bring cars on stuff. So I thought it was really cool. And so one day we all got to be in it. So I was shooting a little bit. My friend was in the car, and we were in between shots. And he went, Fears, because I don't know if we're gonna have time to finish this. And I went, well, I'm like, at least I said if we don't have time, I said at least we'll get some cool like behind the scenes footage. And I said I'm gonna upload some of this stuff on my YouTube. I said now that I know how YouTube works and da 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 da. And this was right around when I was just like trying to figure out what YouTube was, because I created my first YouTube channel my second year, my sophomore year. And so that would have been 2008 because I started film school in 2007. And now this was 2010. This was the very last year of film school because my film school was 4 years. So in between, we were coming up. My friend was like, "Hey, Fears, like we've got a big project for our last project," and that was the super cop like mystery movie that we made, the 5150. You guys have seen all the trailer of all that. And I said, hey, do you think we'll be able to use some of this like footage that I used my car with? And they said maybe. Now, here's the funny thing, Larry. We didn't use any of the green screen footage, but we got to use my car in the 5150 trailer, and we got to use it in the actual 5150 short film. There's a scene like where a prostitute dies, and she dies in my car in the short film. So we actually used my car not once but twice in film school. So I thought that was a pretty cool story. So yeah. So let's see here. D-Man says, I want to set you up with a woman, Fears. Hey, D-Man. Fears, listen. Fears would like any help because I haven't dated someone in 4 years. So, hey, if you got a great girl, lay it on me, D-Man. Lay it on me. Lay it on me, D-Man, you missed the story. I just tried to ask out a girl a couple of days ago. It went well, even though she said no. At least I went for it, though. But in a couple of weeks, I'm gonna do some speed dating. So we'll see how it goes. Visions, Pixel. If you hear from Sam again, if you could tell him, if you could try to pinpoint what it was or what he's going through, let me know. But tell him, like the next time, if he's full, because you said you guys don't know if he's fully back on the Discord or not. When you see him next, just tell him Fear says hi. He hopes that you're doing well, and that whenever you're ready, give Fears or Fear says whenever you're ready to give him a call, because he really still wants to be your friend, and hopefully we can work out whatever you're going through. And then tell him Fears doesn't know if it was something that he did or if it's something that's going on in your life. Like whether it's like you lost your job or maybe there's something wrong with your family, because I don't know anything, Pixel. So just let him know. I hope if you could just tell him that, I would really appreciate it. If you don't want to get involved, Pixel or Visions, then I completely understand. But if you hear from him, if you got a minute, just tell him I hope he's doing all right. I hope he's doing well. And tell him to give me a call at some point. And let him know if I really did do something. I don't know what I did, but whatever I did, tell him if it was my fault, tell him that I'm really sorry. And that I still want to be friends, and I still think he's a cool guy. Because I don't know if it was my fault, or if it's just something, or if he's taken a break and he's he's got something going on in his life, because I really don't know what's going on. I have no clue, But yeah, if you could deliver the message, I would appreciate it, buddy. But if not, don't worry about it. But I'm really worried about him. I really am. Anyway. Well, it's almost 7 o'clock, guys. We've been going for, how long have we been going for? We've been going for almost, well, now it's 2 hours, because it's an hour and 59 minutes. But it's about to turn 2 hours in just a few seconds. But anyway, I think that's a good place to stop. But I hope you guys enjoyed the show. And again, I would love to see as many fans and friends come to some of these toy shows, because I love meeting my friends and fans. I've met Chicken Wizard at a show. I'm going to be hanging out with Lord Visions next year. Pixel, I hope me and you get to hang out one day, whether it's just us hanging out at my house, or me and you hanging out at your house, or me and you hanging out at a con, and then we go back to your house and play some video games and drink some beer. I'm looking forward to those two hangouts one day. I really am. So yeah. Yep. Anyway. But yeah. So I hope you guys enjoyed the show. It's always a pleasure hanging out with you guys. You guys are awesome. Thanks a lot for being the coolest fans ever. All the love and the prayers and the blessings and all the views and the likes. You guys are awesome. So anyway, but yeah, Fierce has got to go in to work at 3 o'clock tonight. So I'm going in a half an hour early. And then it's going to be an epic weekend. Tons of footage, tons of vlogs, hanging out with Keith Coogan. Hopefully, I hope, because Keith Coogan is such a cool guy. I hope, because last time his agent wasn't there, it was just him and his wife, Pixel. So I was like, oh, this would be the greatest opportunity. He's like, oh yeah, Fierce. He's like, interview me, ask me whatever you want. That was last time. I hope he gives me another kick-ass interview, because anytime I get a chance to interview somebody that I admire or that I've seen in a film, I jump at it, But Pixel, I'm still so jealous that you got to interview Pixel. Listen, I don't care that the interview only lasted a minute because your phone died. You got one more minute than I have with fucking Nick Castle, the original, the creator, the original fucking guy that played Michael Myers. Damn it! I want to interview him so much. But so I'm a little jealous of Pixel, but on the other hand, Pixel, it's so fucking cool that you got to interview him. God! But then Pixel's jealous that I've met Kane Hodder not once, not twice, but 3 times. And all 3 times, you can watch all my 3 interviews. They're on, I believe all 3 of those are on Feeders Man 26. They're old videos, but they're on there. So yeah. So I don't know, Pixel. Maybe one day, I hope I get to interview Nick Castle, because that would be sweet. That'd be awesome. Anyway. Vision says, wow, good stream. Well, I appreciate that, buddy. Well, it's easy to do a cool stream with cool and loving and loyal fans like you guys yourselves, So you guys are awesome. Anyway, time for some shout-outs. Well, the first shout-out is the most important one. Sam, I love you, buddy. I hope we can still be friends. I don't know what you're going through, but I hope whatever you're going through, I hope there's a positive outcome. If I did do something, Sam, I don't know what I could have done. But if I did do something, Sam, I'm profoundly sorry. And Sam, reach out to me whenever you're ready. I'm not going to call you for a bit. I'll maybe try and call you in about 2 or 3 months. Hopefully by then, we can hang out, man. And solve whatever it is. If it's not my fault, Sam, and it's something that's going on in your life, I hope things get better, buddy. But I haven't heard anything. So hopefully someone will send you this clip, Sam, because I mean it from the bottom of my heart, buddy. I still want to be friends. I've been worried about you since the last hangout because I haven't heard not one little thing from you. I hope you're doing great. I hope you're doing good. And I just want to hear from you, buddy. We can work out whatever problem it is. Because I'm baffled. I have no idea what's going on, Sam. But anyway, big shout out to Sam. I hope we can talk again. I hope we can hang out again. Big shout out to Lord Pixel, King of the Pylons. Check out Pixel Protocol and check out his wrestling channel. Check out my buddy, my pal, Lord Randall, Randy at Cameo Man 2021 and the Mayor of Magic. He's got 2 channels. Check them out. Give him a like, give him a sub. Let's get Randy's subs up. Check out FearsMan26, the main channel. Check out Fears Vlogs. And check out my TikTok at FearsMan26. And last, but certainly not least, check out Visions. Lord Visions. Check him out. Buy some cool stuff at exhumvisions.com. Check it out. Anyway, this is Fears. Lord Fears. And I'll see you guys later. Fears loves you guys. Fears always cares about you guys.